वासुदेवाय।
ॐ नमो भगवते 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 वासुदेवाय।
नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयो मुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेष भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। शृण्वतां स्वकथा कृष्णा पुण्यश्रवणकीर्तना हृदयन्तस्तो हि अभद्राणि विदुनोति सुहृत्सताम्। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपाकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। नमो पङ्कजनाभाय नमो पङ्कजमालिने नमो पङ्कजनेत्राय नमस्ते पङ्कजाङ्ग्रे। So we will recite this verse. Just give me 1 second. I'm going to share my screen. Okay. Please repeat after me. Evam sandarshita hyanga
एवं सन्दर्शिता ह्यङ्गा
harina भृत्यवश्यता
हरिणावृत्यवश्यता
स्वव्यसेनापि कृष्णेन
स्ववशेऽपि कृष्णेन
यस्येदं सेस्वरं वसे
यदं ससन्दसि
एवं सन्दर्शिता ह्यङ्गा
एवं सन्दर्शिता ह्यङ्गा
हरिणावृत्यवश्यता
हरिणावृत्यवस्यता
स्ववसेनापि कृष्णेन
स्ववनापि कृष्णेन
यस्येदं सेस्वरं वसे
यस्येदं ससन्दसि
एवं सन्दर्शिता ह्यङ्गा
एवं सन्दर्शितहङ्गा
हरिणावृत्यवश्यता
हरिणावृत्तवस्यत
स्ववसेनापि कृष्णेन
स्ववेनापि कृष्णेन
यस्येदं सेस्वरं वसे
यस्य यदं सरं वसे
Anybody wants to recite?
एवं सन्दर्शितः Go ahead, please.
एवं सन्दर्शिता यंगा
एवं सन्दर्शिता ह्यङ्गा
हरिणावृत्यवश्यता
हरिणावृत्यवश्यता
स्ववशेनापि कृष्णेन
स्ववसेनापि कृष्णेन
यस्येदंसेश्वरं वशे
यस्येदं सेस्वरं
यस्येदं
वसे
एवं सन्दर्शितः अङ्गा
एवं सन्दर्शिता ह्यङ्गा
हरिणावृत्तवस्यता
हरिणावृत्यवश्यता
स्ववसेनापि कृष्णेन
स्ववसेनापि
वशेनापि
कृष्णेन
कृष्णेन
यश्येदं से सभृदं भासे
यस्येदं शेश्वरं वसे
यशेश्वरं वसे
एवं सन्दर्शितायङ्गा
एवं सन्दर्शिता ह्यङ्गा
आरिनावृत्य भास्यता
हरिणावृत्यवश्यता
हरिणावृत्यवश्यता
आवासनपि कृष्णेन
स्ववसेनापि
स्ववसेनापि
कृष्णेन
कृष्णेन
यस्य लें सर्वे दशे
यस्येदं
यस्येदं
शेश्वरं
सभं
वसे.
वसे
Any kids wants to try?
एवं सन्दर्शिता यङ्गा
एवं सन्दर्शिता ह्यङ्गा
हरिनावृत्य
हरिणावृत्यवश्यता
हरिणावृत्यवश्यता
स्ववशेनापि कृष्णेन
स्ववसेनापि
स्ववसेनापि
कृष्णेन
कृष्णेन
यस्येदांसेश्वरं वसे
यस्येदं शेश्वरं
यस्येदंशेश्वरं
वसे.
वसे
एवं सन्दर्शिता यङ्गा
एवं
एवं
सन्दर्शिता
सुन्दर्शिता
ह्यङ्गा
ह्यङ्गा
हरिणावृत्य भाष्यता
हरिणावृत्यवश्यता
हरिणावृत्यवश्यता
वशेनापि कृष्णेन
स्ववसेनापि
स्ववासेनापि
कृष्णेन
कृष्णेन
यस्येदंशेश्वरं वसे
यस्येदं शेश्वरं
यस्येदंशेश्वरं
वसे.
वसे
एवं सन्दर्शिता हि अङ्गा
एवं
सन्दर्शिता
सन्दर्शिता ह्यङ्गा
ह्यङ्गा
हरिणावृत्य वश्यता
हरिणावृत्यवश्यता
हरिणावृत्तवश्यता
स्ववसेनापि कृष्णेन
स्ववसेनापि
स्वभासेनापि
कृष्णेन
कृष्णेन
यस्येदं सस्वरं वसे
यस्येदं
यस्येदंशेश्वरं
शेश्वरं
वसे
वसे. Okay, we will do the word to word meaning now. Evam, in this manner,
Evam, in this manner,
Sandarshita was exhibited. Was exhibited.
was exhibited.
He indeed,
He indeed,
Anga, O Maharaj Parikshit,
Anga, O Maharaj Parikshit,
Harina, by the Supreme Personality of Godhead,
Harina, by the Supreme Personality of Godhead,
Vrityavashyata, his transcendental quality of becoming subordinate to his servitor or devotee.
his transcendental quality of becoming subordinate to his servitor or devotee,
Swavasena,
Swavasena,
who is within the control only of his own self.
who is within the control only of his own self.
Api,
Api,
indeed,
indeed,
Krishnena,
Krishnena,
by Krishna,
by Krishna,
Yasya,
Yasha,
of whom,
of whom,
Idam,
Idam,
the whole universe,
the whole universe,
Sa Ishwaram,
Sa Ishwaram,
with the powerful demigods like Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma.
with the powerful demigods like Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma,
Vase,
Vase,
under the control.
under the control.
Translation. O Maharaj Parikshit, this entire universe with its great exalted demigods like Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, and Lord Indra is under the control of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yet, the Supreme Lord has one transcendental attribute. He comes under the control of his devotees. This was now exhibited by Krishna in this pastime. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. This pastime of Krishna's is very difficult to understand, but devotees can understand it. It is therefore said Drishyams tad vidham loka atmano bhaktavashyatam. Prabhupada is quoting from Bhagavatam 10.11.9. The Lord displays the transcendental attribute of coming under the control of his devotees. As stated in Brahma Samhita 5.35, Eko prasaurya chaitam jagadanda kotim yaschaktirasti jagadanda chayaya danta andantarastha paramanu chayantarastham Govindamadi Tamaham Bhajami. By his one plenary portion as Paramatma, the Lord controls innumerable universes with all their with all their demigods. Yet he agrees to be controlled by a devotee. In the Upanishads, it is said that the Supreme Personality of Godhead can run with more speed than the mind. But here we see that although Krishna wanted to avoid being arrested by his mother, he was finally defeated, and Mother Yashoda captured him. Lakshmi Sahasra Sata Sambrama Sevyamanam. Krishna is served by hundreds and thousands of goddesses of fortune. Nonetheless, he steals butter like one who is poverty stricken. Yamaraja, the controller of all living entities, fears the order of Krishna. Yet, Krishna is afraid of his mother's stick. These contradictions cannot be understood by one who is not a devotee. But a devotee can understand how powerful is unalloyed devotional service to Krishna. It is so powerful that Krishna can be controlled by an unalloyed devotee. This Bhrityavashyata does not mean that he is under the control of the servant. Rather, he is under the control of the servant's pure love. In Bhagavad Gita 1.21, it is said that Krishna became the chariot driver of Arjuna. Arjuna ordered him, Senayor Ubhayor Madhye Ratam Stapayame Achyuta. My dear Krishna, you have agreed to be my charioteer, and to execute my orders, place my chariot between the two armies of soldiers. Krishna immediately executed this order, and therefore one may argue that Krishna also is not independent. But this is one's ajnana, ignorance. Krishna is always fully independent. When he becomes subordinate to his devotees, this is a display of Ananda Chinmaya Rasa, the humor of transcendental qualities that increases his transcendental pleasure. Everyone worships Krishna as a supreme personality of Godhead, and therefore he sometimes desires to be controlled by someone else. Such a controller can be no one else but a pure devotee. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपदां सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कान्ता राधाकान्ता नमोऽस्तु ते तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी श्रीराधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कान्ता राधाकान्ता नमोऽस्तु ते नमः ॐ विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैता गदाधार शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna. I would like to seek blessings from His Grace Pyare Mohan Prabhu and Her Grace Jiva Mataji and all the Vaishnavas present here, so I can speak something in the glorification of the Lord and for my own purification. Thank you. So, today is the first day of Kartik, and it is very auspicious to read or hear the pastimes of Lord Damodar. So we will start with the pastimes of Lord Damodar. I have picked this verse because here Srila Sukadev Goswami is explaining to Parishit Maharaj why Lord Krishna performs his pastimes and he becomes a subordinate. He comes under control of his devotees. So we will see this along with the pastime of Damodara. So this 10th canto is the Samambonam of the entire Bhagavatam. So in this, Sri Sukadeva Goswami starts from the birth of Lord Krishna, and then he keeps telling all the chapters, like from the killing of the demon Putana, then the demon Trinavarta, and then he shows his universal form to his mother in his mouth, and then Yashoda Mata binds Lord Krishna. So it is very nice that how Shukdev Goswami starts this pastime. The first text we should read once. Shri Shuka Vacha Ekada Grihada Seshu Yashoda Nanda Gehini Karmantra Niyuktasu Nirmamanta Swayam Dadi. So here Sukdev Goswami is starting this pastime by saying one day when Mother Yashoda was, like how we start. This is from where we get in all the stories we start once upon a time. So we learned it from Sukdev Goswami. He says one day when Mother Yashoda saw that all her maid servants were engaged in all the other household activities, then Mother Yashoda personally, she wanted to churn the yogurt to make it into butter for Lord Krishna, because Yashoda Mata was thinking that Lord Krishna steals butter from other gopis' houses, so she wants to specially put all her love into the butter she's churning, and she wants to make a special kind of butter so Krishna won't steal from other gopis' houses. So Mother Yashoda is churning butter, and meanwhile she is composing all the songs of all the pastimes that the Lord has uh, displayed till now, like in the form of poetry, and she's singing, and she's dressed beautifully in a yellow sari. She has malati flowers in her hair, she has bangles, she has all the decorations she have, and while she is churning the butter, all Sukdev Goswami explains how all her bangles make the music, all the flowers are falling from her hair, her entire body is moving nicely. She is like trying to churn the butter and churn the yogurt and make the butter. And then meanwhile Lord Krishna is sleeping in his bed, and he wakes up and he comes to Mother Yashoda and he asks for milk. And then Mother Yashoda immediately, Krishna here, he holds Mother Yashoda's churning rod. So Mother Yashoda smiles and she says, you became so big, you're holding the churning rod. And then she will immediately take Krishna and she will start nursing him. And as Lord Krishna is nursing, Mother Yashoda feels a lot of love for him. And meanwhile, she has put milk to boil on the stove in the kitchen. And she remembers that the milk will overflow. And then she has to put Krishna down and she rushes into the kitchen. And the Supreme Lord, he feels like he feels very angry and upset that his mom has put him down like a small baby. Even my daughter Krishna Priya, she feels very angry when she starts crying. And in the same way, like Lord Krishna, he is acting like a small baby boy, uh, baby boy of Mother Yashoda. And he gets angry and upset that Mother Yashoda put him down. And we can think that why he is a Supreme Lord, he can't be angry. But he is still in the pastime and he wants to relish the entire rasa. So he's completely involved into this pastime, and he's getting angry. And then he got angry, he got upset, and then he runs. He realized that he'll break the butter pot of Mother Yashoda, and he realizes that he did some mischief, and then he runs away into another room. And there he turns upside down the grinding motor, the spice grinding motor that's called ukhal in Hindi. And he climbs onto the ukhal, the spice grinding motor, and he steals the butter that is hanging from the ceiling, and he starts eating the butter, and he'll start feeding his pets. Who are his pets? Monkeys. So he starts feeding the butter. Meanwhile, Yashoda Mata, she will come from the kitchen and she will see that there is the entire butter is spilled all over the place. And then she gets angry, and then she thinks that she has to discipline her son. And look at the pastime, how it is unwrapping. Like he is the Supreme Lord, and Mother Yashoda, she in the Vatsalya Bhav, she wants to discipline the Supreme Lord. And he ran away, and Mother Yashoda is trying to trace him with the footprints of the Lord. And she figured out where Lord Krishna is. And then she wanted to go into the room directly, but then she thought she has to catch him. So she turned all over around from the room, and she came exactly back from the Krishna, so he can't see. But meanwhile, Krishna is feeding the butter to the monkeys, and he's looking over to the right and over to the left. So Mother Yashoda won't come and catch him. But then suddenly, when he was feeding the butter to the monkey, one of the monkey opened his mouth like ah, because the monkey can see Yashoda Mata, who is coming from behind Lord Krishna, who is sitting on the ukhal. And then Krishna understood that Mother Yashoda is behind. He turned, he looked at Mother Yashoda, and he started running. He jumped from the ukhal and he started running. And then he's running and running and running, and Mother Yashoda is chasing him. Can you even imagine? He is the Supreme Lord. He is the Lord of the entire universe, and he can run in this purport. Prabhupada explains that Lord Krishna can run faster than the mind. He can run faster than the mind. And the yogis who meditate on the Lord, and even though they can run at the speed of the mind, they can't catch Lord Krishna. But here, Mother Yashoda is chasing and chasing and chasing, and finally she caught the little Krishna. And once she caught him, and Lord is feeling he's feeling very scared that she's going to punish. He's a Supreme Lord, and he's getting scared of his mother's stick. Mother Yashoda is holding a stick, and she's showing the stick that she's saying that she's going to punish him. And the Supreme Lord, he's feeling scared and he's crying. Here, Satyavata Muni explains in Damodarashtakam very nicely in this verse. Rudantam mohar netram jugmam rijantam karamoja yugmena satanka netram. That means Lord Krishna is rubbing his eyes. He's crying and rubbing his tears. And while he's rubbing his tears, the kajal which is applied to his eyes, it's getting smudged all over his face. And that's very beautiful explanation by Satyavata Muni in Damodarashtakam. And he's feeling scared. How a Lord can feel scared? He's like everybody is under his control. Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, Lord Indra, even Yamaraj. He is scared of Lord Krishna. He fears the orders of Krishna. Yet he is afraid of his mother's stick. Here, Lord is showing that he's afraid of. And by the way, he is not acting all these things. He's actually present in the pastime, and he is completely merged into the pastime, and he forgot that he is the Supreme Lord. By the Yoga Maya potency, he just forgot that he is Supreme Lord, and Yashoda Mata also forgot that he is Supreme Lord. I mean, how can we think that Supreme Lord can forget? But he is forgetting only to give us this rasa. Why does Krishna perform all these pastimes? He performs all these pastimes so that he can drown all of his devotees in the ocean of ecstasy, in the Ananda Chinmaya Rasa. That's what Prabhupada explains in this purport. He says that he wants to display this as a Ananda Chinmaya Rasa, the humor of transcendental qualities that will increase the transcendental pleasure. That is why he performs all these pastimes, to give pleasure to the devotees, to his devotees. So he got scared and he's crying, and he's taking very deep breaths. When you cry, you start breathing heavily. So like that he's crying, and then Yashoda Mata caught him, and finally she said that she's going to tie Krishna to the ukal, to the grinding mortar. So she brought all the ropes, and can you imagine Lord Krishna getting tied up to something? Because he's the Supreme Lord, he's the controller of innumerable universes. Like here Prabhupada explains that एको प्रसौर्यचैतं जगदण्डकोटिं यश्चक्तिरस्ति जगदण्डचयाय दन्ता अण्डान्तरस्थपरमाणुचयन्तरस्थं गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि. Andantarastha Paramanu Chayantarastham. That means Andantarastha means a small atom. Even small atom won't move without Lord's knowledge. Even small atom will move with cannot move without his Lord's knowledge. And Lord can enter into, he's present in each and every atom. Can we even see a atom with our naked eye? We can't even see an atom with our naked eye. Only when the paramanus, the atoms, when they combine together to form a molecule, then maybe we can see a molecule under a microscope. But we can't see a atom by itself with our naked eyes. Even in the microscopes, it's a little bit difficult, but you can't see. Even in that atom, he can enter. Without him entering into the atom, that is waste. So here Prabhupada is explaining that the unlimited universes, like there are so many universes that come out from Mahavishnu, and into each universe the Garbhodakshaya Vishnu enters. Unless until the Garbhodakshaya Vishnu enters, the universe is doesn't come into, it doesn't develop. So Garbhodakshaya Vishnu has to enter into each and every universe, and then Lord Krishna enters as Paramatma into each and every atom. Only then that means you can see how much Lord is the controller of the entire Brahmanda or entire universes. There are millions and millions of universes and millions and trillions of planets in one universe, and in there are millions and trillions of universes like that. So he's present in each and every atom. He is Sarvantaryami, he's present everywhere. And that Supreme Lord is being controlled by Mother Yashoda's love. Like he's getting controlled. Then Mother Yashoda caught him, and she's trying to tie this Supreme Lord, who is Andantarastha Paramanu Chayantarastham. She's trying to tie him with a rope. And then Lord Krishna doesn't want to be tied with the rope. He's independent. He doesn't want to be tied. He says, don't tie me. And but still Mother Yashoda, she got all the ropes and she started tying. And then when she started tying, she felt the rope was short by the distance of 2 fingers. She's trying to tie. He's just a small boy, and the ukal. In the ukal, the grinding mortar, the small space. I mean, how much space can a little boy uh, can be? Like, how much width can he be? So Mother Yashoda can't tie him to a ukal. But still, it is Lord's wish that he doesn't want to be tied. So the rope is falling short, uh, falling short of 2 fingers. And then she starts gathering all the ropes from the entire house, and this is displayed in front of all the Vrajavasis. All the Vrajavasis are looking at this pastime. Everything is happening in the public show. And everybody is thinking, how is our queen, Mother Yashoda, she can't tie her child to the ukal? And they are all laughing. And then finally she's trying and trying and trying, and the demigods from the heavenly planets, they are also watching. They're saying, oh my Supreme Lord, you are our controller, and you are being tied by the mothers with a rope. How is this possible? Then Lord is thinking that you are seeing right, exactly you what you are supposed to see, you are seeing the same thing. I can be bound by um, the unalloyed devotion of the supreme the unalloyed devotion of the devotees. So here, Prabhupada is explaining that. Okay, here Prabhupada is explaining that Drishyatam tata vidham lokam atmano bhaktavashyatam. That means he is saying that atmano bhaktavashyatam, he can become subdued by his devotees. He wants to exhibit or announce this to everybody. In Brahma Samhita, there is one word, sorry, not in Brahma Samhita, in Damodarashtakam, in the third verse, Satyavata Muni also says the same thing, like iti drikshva leelabherananda kunde swaghosham nimadyanta makhyapayantam. So he's saying that Lord Krishna is exhibiting all this ghosham. He's announcing this to everybody that I want to be, I will get controlled. Um, he will get controlled by the unalloyed devotion of the devotees, and he wants to show this uh, to the people to the devotees who are attracted to the opulence of the Narayana in Vaikuntha. He wants to tell them also that, see, I can be controlled by your unalloyed devotional service. He wants to ghosha, he wants to announce this to everybody. So Prabhupada is saying the same thing here also, like Sukdev Goswami is trying to explain this to Parikshit Maharaj, that the Lord, Supreme Lord, he can be subdued under the unalloyed devotion service of the devotees. So finally, when Mother Yashoda brings all the ropes together, she's tying one rope to the other, one rope to the other. She finished all the ropes in her house, but still she can't tie Lord Krishna. What is this magic happening? Nobody could understand. Finally, the Vrajavasis thought he doesn't want to be tied. That's why you cannot tie him anymore. They are giving up. But Mother Yashoda didn't leave. She was adamant. She was so determined. She wants to tie Lord Krishna to the ukal, to the grinding mortar. So she's trying and trying again and again. And Mother Yashoda, she woke up even before Mangalarti. And it is evening by the time this pastime had happened, and she's so tired. She's perspiring by running and chasing Krishna, and she's perspiring. All the clothes, her entire body is wet, and all her flowers are falling off. which all the malti flowers are falling off from her hair. She doesn't have, she like it, in Hindi they say that sudbudh kho gaye, like you don't have knowledge of what's happening on your body. You just forgot whatever is happening on your body. You just don't have any knowledge about that. So that means you're so deeply involved into the act you're doing. Like Mother Yashoda wants to tie Krishna to the ukal, and she's very determined and she's doing it. Her effort, looking at her effort, the perspiration of Yashoda, Mother Yashoda, fell on the lotus feet of the Lord, and then the Lord gave the mercy, and then finally she could tie. So the two fingers too short, the two fingers which distance that was short when Mother Yashoda was tying the rope is the effort. One is the effort, and the second one is um, Krishna's mercy. Without our effort and Krishna's mercy, we can't do anything. We can't understand him. So finally she tied Krishna to the grinding mortar. And here I want to talk about one pastime that happened with that Prabhu in the from Prabhupada's pastimes. So one of the pastimes, when Prabhupada wanted the artists to paint um, pictures for the Krishna book. I think almost there are 100 paintings or something, not for, I'm not sure about it for the Krishna book or for the other books, but he wanted the artists to paint the paintings, and they were almost like 100 paintings they have to do. And Prabhupada told them to finish this task like in 6 to 7 months. And all the artists, there were only 4 artists, and they don't know anything about the Lord. And Prabhupada wrote descriptions in small paper, and he gave it to everyone. And then Prabhupada said that read all these uh, small descriptions which I have given, and start painting. And then all the artists were like, they don't know anything about the Lord, how he looks, what he wears, how is he decorated, who is he with, in which situations, in what circumstances, in what sceneries they have to paint. They just don't know anything. Then Prabhupada told them that just read these descriptions, then sit down and chant your 16 rounds in a mood that I don't know anything, like in the mood of um, that I don't know anything and please guide me. That is the mood. He wanted them to have that mood and chant the entire 16 rounds at a stretch at the same time. And then afterwards you can start painting. And they started painting, and we can see the amazing paintings right now, which we see in Prabhupada's books. So that much of compassion and mercy Lord has when we put the effort in chanting every day. We have to have this fight in chanting, like it's like a war with your mind. You want to chant, and then the mind goes away somewhere. Bring back the mind. And this happens like a war. Like two persons are like, I don't want to do this, but you have to do this. One person is saying you have to do this, and the mind is like saying I don't want to do this. But that it's like a war only, right? So here when we have that war, when we put that effort to bring our mind back, then Krishna's mercy will come upon us. And then finally someday we can chant nicely, and we can get the mercy of the Lord. So in this way, Prabhupada here also explains there are contradictions in this verse, like in this entire pastime, actually, in all his pastimes, actually. So what contradictions can we see is like, because Lord Krishna is a supreme controller, but still he gets controlled by Mother Yashoda, by his devotees. And in Upanishads, it is said the Supreme Personality of Godhead can run with more than the speed of his mind, but then he's got arrested by his mother. That is another contradiction. The third one is he is like served by hundreds and thousands. Lakshmi Sahasra Sata Sambrama Sevyamanam. He's served by Sata Sambrama Sevyama. Sahasra Sata. Sahasra means 1000. More than that, Sata Sambrama Sevyamanam. Hundreds and thousands of Lakshmis are serving him, or gopis are serving Lord Krishna in the Goloka Vrindavan. But then here in this pastime, he's stealing butter, like he is poverty stricken. How can we understand all these things? Prabhupada in the first part of the purport, he says that it's very difficult to understand these pastimes except the devotees. Nobody can understand. Why devotees can understand? Because we have the mercy. We have the mercy of our Guru Maharaj. We have the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. We have mercy of Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy. Without his mercy, we can't understand all these things. And the people who are non-devotees, they cannot understand. They will say that Krishna is he's not independent, he's getting controlled under the devotees, but that is ignorance. We shouldn't say like that. We can't say like this, that he is getting control under the devotees. But here Prabhupada clearly explains, saying that he is not controlled under the devotees, but he is controlled under the love of the devotees. He clearly explains in this next the verse which he quotes from Srimad Bhagavatam 10.11.9. In that he says, to the pure devotees throughout the world who could understand his activities, the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna exhibited how much he can be subdued by his devotees, his servants. In this way, he increases the pleasure of the Vrajavasis by his childhood pastimes. So why is Lord Krishna doing all this? Why is he getting subdued? He wants also the reciprocation of love, and that increases the Ananda Chinmaya Rasa for the devotees. For the pleasure of the devotees, he is exhibiting all these activities, and we should never think that he is coming under control of his devotees. And here Prabhupada also explains one verse from Bhagavad Gita 1.1.21, that he is getting controlled by Arjuna also. He became a charioteer. Becoming a chariot driver is so, I mean, like, it's so low class, right? All the chariot driver has to clean the chariot. He has to feed the horses, and then he has to be kicked by Arjuna. If Arjuna wants to tell to the Lord to go towards the right, he has to kick him on his right shoulder. And then if Arjuna has to tell Krishna to go towards the left, he has to kick on his left shoulder. And Krishna, the Supreme Lord, he is getting kicked by his devotee. He is even taking that. Why? He loves his devotees so much, and he loves the love that they are exhibiting towards Krishna. That is why he does all these things, to drown his devotees in the transcendental ecstasy, the Ananda Chinmaya Rasa. And in the next verse, Sri Sukdev Goswami, here Parikshit Maharaj is wondering, that what kind of great austerities did Mother Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj perform in their past life. What did Mother Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj do in their previous lives, by which they got such a great opportunity? The opportunity to be affectionate father and mother of Krishna. Can anybody tie Lord Krishna? Nobody can tie him. But with the love that Mother Yashoda had towards Lord Krishna, she could tie him, and that is the Vrityavashyata Lord Krishna is exhibiting here. So we can understand how merciful Lord is. And after this pastime, finally Mother Yashoda tied Lord Krishna to the ukal and to the grinding mortar, and then she went for her job. So here now Lord Krishna he won't sit idle. He's a small boy, and then he became merciful towards Mother Yashoda, and now he wants to show his strength and show his compassion. So the next what happens is there is a pastime here where Nalakuvara and Manigriva, the sons of Kuvera, they were cursed by Narad Muni, and though they were not qualified for Krishna's compassion and mercy, but because Narada Muni gave his word saying that Lord Krishna will liberate you, that they turned into two Yamal Arjuna trees because of the curse of Narad Muni. And Lord Krishna, to fulfill his pure devotee's wish, he goes in between the two Yamal Arjuna trees and then he pulls them down, and then Nalakuvara and Manigriva gets liberated from the tree form. So here we can see how Lord is compassionate. He's compassionate, he's so merciful, and we should try, as being devotees, we should try how to attract Lord Krishna's mercy. So we can attract Lord Krishna's mercy by serving the devotees in the mood of dasa dasanudas. When you have gratitude towards what mercy we already got the mercy from our Guru Maharaj. We got initiation and we got into the Guru Parampara. I mean, we were included into the Parampara. So that is one of the mercies we got. So when we have gratitude towards this mercy which we got, and if we work, we will put a little bit of more effort, like while chanting or preaching, like we talked about the chanting and preaching. If we preach, that is the, if you can preach or distribute books, that means we are distributing this compassion of the Lord to rest of the other people also. You are telling to the entire universe or to the entire world that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. And if when you start distributing books or preach, then you will become the you will become dearest to the Lord. He will show the mercy on you. So that is how we can attract Lord Krishna's mercy, by preaching, by book distribution, and by chanting. When you chant, when you show your efforts, and serving the devotees or the Vaishnavas in dasa dasanu dasa, in that mood of dasa dasanu dasa, you can attract the mercy of the Supreme Lord. And here I want to say one pastime of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to show his compassion onto this entire world by distributing us the bhakti and participating in Sankirtana, Krishna Nam Sankirtana. In that way, he gave us the Harinam, he gave us the bhakti and everything. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is compassionate in that way. And I want to share another pastime of Prabhupada. Prabhupada, he is also very compassionate. How, like everybody, all the devotees who, all the Americans who ever became devotees, they all became devotees because of his compassion. And there is one pastime that Prabhupada, when Prabhupada was present, one of his sannyasa devotees, he um, Madhudveshta Prabhu. He was sannyas initiated, and then he fall down to grihasthashram. He married and he got kids and everything. And then Prabhupada was not angry at him. He asked him to come to meet him. And then when Madhudveshta Prabhu went to meet Prabhupada, Prabhupada was never angry. I mean, he never said that you just did such a abominable act, for like, if a sannyasi turns into a grihastha, it is like you renounce to something and then you are taking it back, like you're eating your own vomit. It is so that abominable. But Prabhupada never said any of those things. He just said that it is okay if he wants to serve Lord Krishna in grihastha ashram, he can do it. and he was so compassionate, and Madhudeshta Prabhu never left the ISKCON. He was still in the ISKCON, and then he was serving in Grihasthashram. So I wanted to share this pastime because I wanted to share how Prabhupada is also very compassionate. Because of his compassion, there are a lot of devotees we can see. Now, because of his compassion, he wrote lots and lots of books. He translated lots and lots of books, and we should read those books, and we should distribute the books so that we can, become one of the acceptor of Krishna's mercy. Okay, that's all I have for now. If anybody wants to add something, they can please go ahead and add. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. I have a question and a couple of comments.
Yes, Mataji.
So the question is, you mentioned Srila Prabhupada asked the 4 devotees to paint and gave them the notes. Where did you read that?
I heard from one of the lectures, Mataji.
I see. Okay. The second comment was, I was laughing when you said that Krishna was stealing butter like a poverty-stricken child. One of Krishna's names is Srinivas,
Yes, yes.
the one who
Srinivas.
houses
Has
every
Lakshmi on
kind
his
of
own.
wealth.
Yes.
So that was very funny thinking about that, And that lastly, the devotee that you were talking about, was it Madhudvisha? I think it's Madhudvisha, right?
Yes,
His name?
Mataji. Sorry, I
Hmm.
got the name
Yeah.
wrong.
Okay.
Hmm.
Very, very nice pastime. I was really enjoying your narration.
Thank you, Mataji.
Yes, it's perfect for starting off our Damodar Rata, to hear that.
Agreed. Yeah, very nice.
You added some nice extra little details that we don't always meditate on. It's very, very nice. Thank you. Really
Mhm.
appreciate that.
Very nice.
Very well delivered. Who doesn't like to hear about, childhood activities, and then when you hear about the supreme one, it's even more relishable.
Yes, Mataji.
I was laughing like anything when she said that Krishna was stealing butter like a poverty-stricken child.
I know. Like he needs it.
The one who houses every kind of wealth.
It's so endearing.
I know, right?
For God to act like an ordinary person, people can't understand that. Other religions, he's just the provider. Our Father who art in heaven, give us this day our daily bread. Or, but to steal from you or play tricks on you, like Lord Chaitanya with Kolave Sridhar, the banana leaves, and so it's so personal, so ecstatic. The rasa is just amazing. Thank you.
But Jiva, did you hear about the 4 devotees fainting and they chanted the 16 rounds before they?
No, I've only heard about like painting the paintings for the Chaitanya Charitamrita. They had a very limited time and they worked together on them. And
Right.
I know Prabhupada wanted them to only paint what's described in the scripture, in the Bhagavatam and in the scriptures. He didn't want them to just paint Krishna whimsically with anything, but specifically descriptions in the Shastra. I know he wanted that, but I didn't hear the specific of sit down, chant your rounds, and then.
Yeah, I didn't either, and I did hear them constantly asking Prabhupada questions, and Prabhupada would answer their questions as to how, is Krishna doing, standing this, or is he doing that, or is he, when he had that heart attack, he was, I think Govinda Das, he was painting, and she was asking him questions,
Yeah, sometimes he would even model himself. Sometimes he would draw pictures himself and paint like this. He gave so much, and some of these artists, even Jadharani, she said she was worst in her class in school. She was a very good artist, but because she was empowered by Prabhupada, her paintings are amazing.
And I remember Govinda Dasi, when she was painting something, and she accidentally stepped on Prabhupada's mat, And she said, I'm sorry, Prabhupada, I stepped on your mat. And he said, you can stand on my head if you're serving Krishna. I remember that.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Something with the Vyasa-san, yeah. It'd be nice, I was thinking, if we had for every month some, sweet pastime of the Lord, and we sing a song for it, and,
Hey, nothing's stopping us, right?
Oh, I know.
There's something to be, something to be feasted on, or something to be celebrated every month. We have some pastime coming every month.
Yeah.
Whether it's Ramachandra's pastime or even some of the devotees, appearance days,
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, he told Janani Vas that they could have a festival every day, in Mayapur.
Mm-hmm.
They were celebrating so many holidays, and it's a big endeavor. There's a lot of work. And Prabhupada said we could have a festival every day. And that's what it is in the spiritual world. Every day is a festival.
Exactly, yeah. Every day is a festival.
Yeah, everyone's glorifying Krishna in wonderful ways.
And in Vedic times, and even fairly recently in India, even when I was growing up, there was our entertainment was a festival every day, some kind of festival every week at least,
Mm-hmm.
So whether it was a Rath Yatra or Janmashtami or, Ram Navami, there was some kind of festival constantly happening, and our entertainment was festivals.
Yeah.
But now it has changed.
And that's the glory of Krishna's pastimes. It's like you can have a festival for every little thing he does. You can have a temple glorifying everything he does, like braiding Radharani's hair at Kusum Sarovara. There's that temple that's just, and talking, I don't know, I can't think of the word I was thinking of, but the temple is just, it has two Govardhan Shilas, and one is Krishna and one is Radharani. And Krishna's behind Radharani braiding her hair, and Radharani has a mirror looking at Krishna.
Where is this?
At Kusum Sarovara.
Uh-huh.
It's Banabihari, where Krishna dresses up like a gardener, and he goes and he picks flowers, and he disguises himself,
Uh-huh.
Of
I
course.
think Jamuna Devi's deities were Radha Banabihari, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Gardener.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. She liked gardening too.
So there's temples all over for all these little pastimes, and it's really nice.
Can I relate a miracle that I thought just happened to me?
Yes, Mataji, please go ahead.
Anyway, I'm sure, Jiva, I talked to you that there were fires in Orange County, right?
Oh,
in
yeah.
Irvine.
Mm-hmm.
And the fire came pretty much there were spot fires on my daughter's house. And I was sincerely praying to the Panchatattva deities in Laguna Beach to somehow, kind of alleviate those fires. And I just read the news today. It's 52% contained. And the news says it was a rare event that it was contained, because, many of the fires burned many streets down in California. And it was amazing. It was almost like a 3 storm of miracles came together, that the police chief happened to notice the fires extremely early on. Secondly, there was a shift of firefighters happening. It happened at a time when they were shifting to another shift, and there were 2 shifts of firefighters available to fight the fire. And thirdly, which is the greatest miracle, which I was actually praying fervently for, the Santa Ana winds were 60 miles per hour, and they could not throw water from any kind of airlifting, and the Santa Ana winds died down within 1 day, from 60 miles per hour to 50 miles to 45 miles to 0 miles per hour on Wednesday. I mean, to me, that was like literally a miracle that happened. Otherwise there was no question. I mean, I thought Orange County's houses would start burning down. So I feel it's literally the power of prayer and the Panchatattva's mercy that somehow not a single house burned down. And mainly because the winds died down from 45 miles per hour to 0 miles per hour.
Yeah, and who controls those winds?
Who controls those winds? Who controls those winds except, So I'm sending some personal service to the Panchatattva deities in Laguna Beach,
Nice. Very nice. Wow.
Hare Krishna. Sevanandini.
Yes,
It
Prabhuji.
was wonderful class. So very nicely you started the Damodar month. So on that note, I would like to have a quick announcement that every day we will be chanting Damodar Ashtakam at 6:45 p.m. before our Bhagavad Gita class starts. For 1 month, we will be chanting this. So devotees, please join and participate in the chanting. Also, if you would like to chant for any particular day, please let me know so that I can put in a schedule. That's what I just wanted to add. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Mataji, thank you for very nice class. I joined late, but I would like to share one that I heard recently. Maybe if you have covered, then maybe I'm repeating.
Okay, Prabhuji.
So when Yashoda Mataji was trying to bind Krishna, I think for binding, she actually used the ribbon from her hair braids. And then she was thinking of where to bind first. She think of, okay, let me bind her hand first. But then she thought the hands are so small, Krishna may escape quickly, even if I bind there. Then she started thinking, what else? Then she, okay, let me bind maybe the west. But she think, oh, maybe that may hurt my Lala. So then she end up on the tummy. That is the Udara. And then she tried to bind actually, but Krishna also, initially he was in the mood, oh no, I am like the supreme, then I wanted to I cannot make my mother to tie me, but then eventually Krishna, I think he let her bind because of her that unconditional love. So this is something I heard recently, so I wanted to share.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you,
Prabhuji,
Very
for sharing.
nice. Very nice.
Yes, Prabhuji. There's so many so many acharyas explain it very nicely, more better than me. But I tried from my side a little bit, whatever I could remember. Thank you everybody for joining. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhyo patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Nantakoti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you everybody. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.